Welcome to the Panel Show TV, Down the Track. We're at Sydney at the Alpha Hotel, right across the road from Sydney Dragway, where we've just held the East Coast Thunder, brought to us by AC Delco. We're going to be talking everything pro-alky today. I'm Rob Oberg, with me is co-host Jared McLean, and we've got two of the stars of the pro-alcohol field, Steve Reed and Rob Ambrosi. Well, the weather conditions this weekend are not what we would have called ideal. We had a lot of misting rain, delays. Rob, when you're getting the car ready, you warm it up, you're planning to run in, say, 90 minutes or something. Yeah. And then they say, no, we've had some rain, guys. It might be a little bit while longer. How much frustration does that bring?
Well, a lot, because it actually, the tune-up that you put in to get that car down the track, what ends up happening is that it changes, and it can change a lot in a lot of different ways, in what clutch setups you've got in there, timing and stuff like that, and you're trying to sort of work out, you want to get this car down the track, and then all of a sudden the track goes from warm to sort of cold, and then, you know, and everything changes for you. You know, especially when you've got a high horsepower car, like we all do, and we struggle with that, you know what I mean? 1 minute, you think you've got the right setup in there, but the next minute can change just like that.
Steve, you've been racing before pro-alky existed in the blown methanol classes, at country tracks and all over the place. This problem of changing conditions is, I guess experience has to help to look at it and say, okay, we've been through this before.
Yeah, I guess experience does help, but boy, before we ran each time, I mean, I was into that box so many times and second guessing myself and making changes up, down and around, and yeah, it does change. I mean, the temperature is dropping, misting rain, you don't know whether the track's going to be better, it's going to be worse. It's just a guess.
And you don't know what time to order lunch for?
No.
Well, qualifying, I mean, it was a pretty big deal.
It absolutely was, Rob. Day one was all qualifying. Now, pro-alky, you're one of the lucky classes to get all of your runs done and dusted. Talk to me about day one of East Coast Thunder for you.
Well, day one, our plan was just to put something in the car and get it down the track and get off it early, and just make sure that everything that we've got in there, which was new, was going to be okay. And we did that. The first round of qualifying went okay for us. It went 6-1, I think it was, something like that. But it was slow. I got off it. So I said, okay, we come back, have a look at the data and all that, and we started to sharpen a pencil and get after it. And on the second qualifier, went a 589. So I thought, okay, we're going in the right direction. That's cool. Come back. The third qualifier went a 571. And I was really happy with that. So for first round of eliminations for the next day, I was hoping the rain and all that was going to stay away, which was very tricky, but we got it all ready for the next day. We didn't hurt anything. Had a couple of little issues which I was concerned about with pump and stuff like that, but I thought, okay, let's just see how we go, and then we went to round one, and it didn't look too good.
We'll get to that in just a second. But Steve, day one for you was fantastic. The All-Star Batteries funny car making it all the way to the top step. Great job.
Yeah, no, thanks. It was, we put a bit of new stuff on the car, and we went to Willowbank the previous weekend and just ran it to half track just to see whether everything was on the money, just do a safe one. And so we put a setup in the car and just cruised on down there with the 548, which we were really happy with.
That's cruised on down there with a 548.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it was smooth, it was soft, it did everything right. So yeah, we were really happy with that. So then we just came back and we tweaked things a little bit. Probably should have put a little bit of lead on the nose for the second qualifier. Carried the wheels, just drove to the wall a little bit, so I had to give it a quick pedal and went down. I think it went a 50 something, but we decided to sit out the last qualifier because things were cooling, and we just wanted to service everything, get ready for race day.
Well, guys, we saw a car at this event which we don't see too many of. We're talking about a front engine dragster in the pro-alcohol category in a Russell Mills with this Richard Boddicker built car. I mean, we thought it was cool. We thought it was a great addition. I mean, what's your thoughts?
I think it's cool too. I love it. I mean, and that's the great thing about pro-alky here in Australia is we've got the mix of all these types of cars. We've got funny cars, dragsters, altereds, and Russell Mills's car. I mean, it's really good. I mean, the mixing it up for the category, I think, adds a lot of excitement.
Well, Rob, what Russell described it to us as was, hey, up to here is a funny car. And then we've just extended the whole chassis out the front to give us wheelbase. We don't carry a body, we're lighter, and it's just something different that we like. What do you think?
Look, I like it myself too. I'm a big fan of anything that goes faster. Look, funny car, dragster, doesn't matter what it is, but that car is a cool car. And having that thing beside me as well, lifting the front wheels up in the air and all that, I was wondering like what was going on. But yeah, it's a cool hot rod, I tell you.
So you can go home and cut the front off yours? And
I just about feel like doing a lot of that, yeah.
Now, Pro Alcohol, the competition was fierce, but we still had quite a few big names that were absent. We didn't have Hargraves, wasn't able to find parts in time. Glasby and a host of other WA cars weren't able to make the trek over. When we sort of come into these kinds of events, do you set the car up or mentally prepare yourself and the crew to approach each event differently depending on the field that's placed in front of you?
Well, for me, I don't worry about anyone. I would just worry about what we're going to do. I race my own race. It doesn't matter who's in the next lane, who's there, who's not there. I just try to do my best all the time and try to go forward with everything we do. So we've got data to go quicker all the time. If you start worrying about everyone else, I think then you get mixed up in a lot of other different things and you're not going to concentrate on what you need to do, because it's hard enough just to get ready to get to the meeting and then get in the car ready to do the race to worry about all that stuff.
Steve, coming into this event, our, at the time, points leader, Gary Phillips, was absent. Was there any changes that you made yourself to the car coming into the weekend?
No, as Rob said, I mean, you try to run the car as fast as you think the racetrack's going to take, so it doesn't matter who's in the other lane, who else has entered for the event and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a shame that Gary wasn't here, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, we know Gary's going to be back. You know, he's told us that, and we're planning on having a chat with him for the panel shows down the track. Qualifying's over. We're going into eliminations. We've got a tough field. Let's go to the semi-finals and Rob Ambrosi. I mean, that semi-final, you went in there pumped up, ready for it, leave the line, half track was looking good. Yeah, what went on?
Look, I don't know what happened. All I know is that I had Russell Mills beside me doing aeronautical tricks, and I could see this car come up. My car was struggling at certain points down low, but the thing that he was right beside me, and I could see him go up and down. I thought, oh, no, everything's all right, and I'm waiting for the light, bang, hit a gear. As soon as I hit top gear, and well, pretty much, he was just in front doing all sorts of things, and then all of a sudden it just went boom, and the blower come off the engine, and the tube that actually, well, when the blower comes off, you've got a burst panel behind it, then that tube that goes through to the window, the side window, takes all the hot air and fuel and throws it out in the atmosphere outside. That tube was just like shot out like a cannon, just went straight, gone. And so then the tube that was in front of the car was pointing towards my face. So fire, hot, heat, fuel, everything that could have come in there, kitchen sink, everything, the whole lot.
High-speed blow dry.
Oh yeah, it was, and all I wanted to do was get it. It actually got me by surprise. I could not believe how big the concussion was. I thought it was worse than what it was.
Well, these engines, I mean, massive supercharger forcing compressed air in, miles of methyl alcohol fuel, and there's this huge area under the supercharger in the manifold, isn't it?
Oh yes.
That's a bomb waiting for a fuse to be lit.
Oh yeah.
So normally it like spark up through the intake valve or something like that.
We broke an intake valve.
Okay.
All right. So the intake valve turned sideways. Thank God it didn't go through and then take rods out. So it didn't break any rods in that. It did top end damage, but when that broke like that, then it backfired back. It ignited the fuel in the manifold, and that's what lifted the blower off. But if it was loud outside, you could just imagine inside it's supersonic loud. Like, I mean, big loud.
Well, it can be tough, and I'm sure it definitely was for you right there at the epicenter of this perfect storm. But it is also incredibly tough for some of the onlookers. Rob, you had a chat with Rob's daughter, Monique. Let's go and find out what she thought of the whole episode.
Monique, you're on the start line, semi-final of Pro Alcohol. Your dad leaves the line, half track, everything's looking good, then boom, what goes through your mind?
Honestly, the first thing is Dad's safety. Like, the horsepower and the danger of these cars is extreme, especially for all Group 1 and the other races out there. So the bang, yes, it was big. Nothing that we wanted to see, especially because we've had a lot of damage these past couple of seasons. So we were really hoping that we were going to progress in a positive way. Didn't happen, which was sad, so knocked out in semi-finals. But at the end of the day, it was just the fact that Dad was okay. He got checked by the ambulance after it because he was on fire, but it's all right, he's fine, so that's a good thing.
But you work on that engine.
Yeah.
So you saw Dad come out of the car, he's okay. Does the mind switch then to, damn, how much work have we got to do?
I really thought we were going to be able to turn the car around, but by the time I got to the finish line, I saw the damage on the body. Shook the injector head a little bit, so that banged the blower, obviously, from the noise that it had on the start line. But got underneath the car just to see if there were any holes in the pan or anything that I could see, but nothing that was visible. So, and then we got to the pits and we were out for it, so that was it.
Oh well, bigger and better next time?
Exactly, bigger and better next time.
Well, Monique Ambrosi, a girl who's fast proving that she's got a big future ahead of her. Rob, that was pretty much the end of your day two at AC Delco's East Coast Thunder. Steve, your final against Russell Mills. You won on a 548 to a 556. The All-Star Batteries funny car firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, no, it was good. I mean, and as we were waiting for the misting rain to go over, and we had a bit of time, and like I said before, I was changing my mind all the time as to how we're going to set the car up, but it managed to get in there and run something pretty decent. And but it was a tough race against Russell. He was right there. I mean, as soon as I crossed the finish line, he was past me. I didn't see or hear him on the run, but I know he was right there. And when you look at all the increments, it was a very close race.
Now, it couldn't have been a much better weekend for you. Races, they fight for top qualifier, they fight for low ET, they fight for top mile per hour. But right there at the end, it's all done for that one thing, that 400 Thunder Gold Christmas tree.
You mean one of these?
I do.
One of these? Love those things.
They've got some heft to them, don't they?
They are. They're a quality piece, and everybody wants one.
Absolutely. It must be good, adding it to the collection.
Yeah, sure is. I mean, they take proud place on our mantelpiece. So, got a couple of them at the race shop there now, and it's really good. It's really good to have them.
Steve, I've been to your workshop, a couple of them. I mean, they cover the tables.
That's right. Yeah, no, there's a couple there, but we've been racing a long time. So,
well, we're going to keep racing too. I mean, we've got a long season ahead of us for Pro Alcohol in the 400 Thunder Championship. Mm-hmm. But Jared was just alluding to those points. You took the swag. I mean, top qualifier, low ET. I think you got the high speed as well, and then the win. That's maximum haul. You've got to be feeling pretty good about the rest of the year. That's a great start. And we're back here in Sydney the next round in January. Yeah,
I mean, it's a fantastic start. I mean, and looking forward to January now. Geez, it'd be great to have the same sort of weekend as we've just had now.
No, let's have fine weather.
Oh, okay. Let's have beautiful, fine, mild weather, and so we can go faster and try and bag those same sort of points. But I mean, that's real wishful thinking for that.
Rob, before Sydney, you've got some work to do. Will you look at any testing opportunities, or will it be straight here and into it again?
Well, look, we're from Melbourne. There is no track in Melbourne, so to test there, it's not going to happen in the street. So I've got to get it to a track. Well, we've got a lot of work to do, so we're just going to concentrate on fixing it, getting it all back together, and get our backsides here in Sydney and see if we can give Steve a bit of a go.
Well, we're going to be looking forward to that and every round of the Pro Alki Series and all aspects of the 400 Thunder. We're going to be bringing it all to you here on the panel shows down the track, and we've got plenty more.